So you know the old saying, it's not where you start, it's where you finish? Well, not necessarily true in the NBA. Of the 10 starters in this year's All-Star game, only one was selected outside the top 5. His name, Kobe Bryant. You might have heard of him. To dissect the class of 2013, we bring in our hoops expert, Seth Davis. And Seth, based purely on talent level and draft projections, what I'm going to ask you to do, we're going to give you a sentence, and we're going to ask you to fill in the blank. Are you ready?
I think so.
You're equipped to handle this. I think you probably are.
It's a lot of pressure you're putting on me, but I'll do my best.
But you know what? I know you can handle it. So here we go. The most underrated player in the draft is blank.
I'm saying Tim Hardaway Jr. from Michigan. When the draft process started at the end of the season, he was projected to go middle of the second round. I've noticed that he's been climbing up the charts, and I think that's no coincidence. I saw how well he performed in Chicago at the pre-draft combine. Very athletic, underrated athletic kid. His offense, I think, is not reflected in his statistics at Michigan. I think he sublimated, Bonnie, his offensive game for the sake of the team. He's got the great DNA. He's a very mature kid. I think he's going to be a solid NBA player.
And anytime you can get the term sublimated in one of these segments, please feel free to do so. Next, okay, this is a hard one for you. 58 players were assigned to the D-League by an NBA team during the season. So, blank will be the first rounder to play in the D-League next season.
Well, I think there will be a number of such players, Bonnie. I think that's a good thing for the league and for these players. The guy that jumps out at me is Steven Adams, a 7-foot center coming out of Pittsburgh. He's only been playing high-level competitive basketball for a couple of years. Grew up in New Zealand, which is not really culturally attuned to basketball. He's a real big kid, has really helped himself in the postseason since the end of the college season, but really did not play that much, was not that effective at Pitt. And if you can't be effective in the Big East, or what used to be the Big East, you're going to have a hard time being effective in the NBA. I think he gets drafted in the lottery, spends some time in the D-League, and then a couple years down the road, he could be a pretty effective NBA center.
All right, we all know Damian Lillard, the pride of Weber State, the Blazers' 6th overall pick last year, who picked up Rookie of the Year hardware this season. The next superstar of a mid-major will be blank.
This is an easy one, Bonnie. C.J. McCollum from Lehigh. Such a shame when he broke his foot just a couple of games into his senior season. Came back after the big win over Duke in the NCAA tournament last year when he scored 30 points. Could have turned pro. Wanted to come back and have that college experience, be a known quantity going into the year. But I've talked to a lot of NBA scouts, Bonnie, and there's no concern at all with his foot injury. It was a broken foot sustained early in the season. He's all better. He's a terrific kid. He's done great in interviews. He's kind of a poor man's Dwayne Wade. He's not as good as Wade in terms of the freak athleticism, but he's got that same kind of savvy game as a 1-2 combo guard, can score in a lot of ways. C.J. McCollum's going to be a really good NBA player.
All right, last question. The last rookie to play in an All-Star game was Blake Griffin a couple years ago in 2011. Which player from this year's draft do you think is most likely to be an All-Star next winter?
Well, if I had to say whether or not he would be an All-Star as a rookie, I'd say probably no. But the best chance, I think, belongs to Ben McLemore. Ben McLemore has one really, really high-level skill, and that's shooting. He shoots the basketball from deep range as well as any player in this draft. He's, again, a little bit undersized as the 2 guard, maybe rounds out at 6'3", but his athleticism is off the charts. Bill Self said he's the best athlete that he ever coached. Remember, he only played 1 year of college basketball because he sat out his first year at Kansas for academic reasons. So he's got to improve his ball handling, become a little bit more aggressive. But in terms of pure athletic ability and his ability to score the ball, Ben McLemore, I think, is the best player in this draft and has the best chance to be an All-Star as a rookie.
I agree. Barring any injury, you think that McLemore is going to have a very, very long, sustained, powerful career in the NBA. Seth Davis, thanks so much. For more on the NBA draft, including Seth's top 5 at every position, check out other videos on our site only on CampusInsiders.com.